What if the greatest enemy on the battlefield wasn't human at all? Welcome back to the world of Berserk, created by legendary Kentaro Miura, where every victory comes with a cost. Now let's begin this chapter. At the start of the scene, we see a child, with Guts' massive sword already driven through his chest. Guts looks at the boy. The kid is already dead. He doesn't even understand what just happened to him. He looks at Guts, slowly reaches out his hand, like he's trying to say something. There's something going on in his mind, but he can't process it. He doesn't understand why this man killed him. He doesn't know anything. He's just a child. Guts walks toward him. He looks at what he's done, how this even happened. He thought it was a soldier. Guts grabs the boy's hand, tries to help him, tries to save him somehow. But deep down, he already knows. It's too late. He just stands there, in shock, looking at the boy, then around him. And then he realizes he has to run. He's completely shaken. Suddenly, he notices 3 soldiers coming from behind him. They shout from a distance, "What's going on here? Is everything all right, Highness?" Then their eyes land on Master Adonis. He's on the ground, killed, and instantly, panic, intruder. Right then, Guts cuts through them with his massive sword and pushes forward. At that moment, an old man arrives and asks the soldiers what's happening. They tell him a thief broke in, a robber. The old man freezes. He looks at Adonis' dead body and says he could have been so much more. He was meant to inherit everything from his father, to carry his legacy forward. But now, it's all over. May his soul rest in peace. Then he turns back and orders, do not let that man escape. Capture him, dead or alive. Next, we see Guts cutting his way through people, pushing forward as arrows are fired at him. One of those arrows hits his arm. He jumps over the wall, lands outside the castle. Below, he notices a sewer tunnel. He kicks open the iron bars and forces his way inside. As soon as he enters, his vision starts spinning. He's losing consciousness, and suddenly, Gambino appears in his mind. They're fighting. Guts is desperate, trying to learn, trying to prove himself, because Gambino was the only person he ever had. Guts says, "I just wanted him to acknowledge me, to be proud of me. I wanted to see that spark in his eyes." Then suddenly, a massive monster appears. Something like Zod. In an instant, Gambino gets cut down, his head separated from his body. Guts screams, "Stop! Stop!" He starts fighting, and then he sees it, that face. It's his own. Suddenly, Guts snaps back to reality. He's inside the sewer, barely conscious, leaning on the wall. Moving forward slowly, blood is coming out of his mouth. His arm is still wounded, somehow. He manages to get out quietly. Next scene, Corcus, Udo, Pippin, and Casca are sitting together inside the castle, eating and talking casually. Then the door opens. Guts walks in. Rickard asks, "Where were you all day?" Corcus shrugs. He's probably off training alone again, like always. Casca, annoyed, says, "He left without telling anyone. We had a group training today. That didn't happen because of him." Then they notice Guts looks completely exhausted, like he's broken. Casca is shocked. She walks up to him and asks, "Where were you since morning?" Guts ignores it. He just asks, "Where's Griffith?" He doesn't want to talk. He just walks past them, searching for Griffith. Then everyone notices there's an arrow wound in his arm. They're stunned. Guts starts climbing the stairs, and then he sees it. Griffith, standing with Charlotte, talking, like everything is normal. And with this, the chapter comes to an end. If you want to know what happens next, make sure to subscribe and stay with us on this journey through Berserk. See you in the next chapter.